Good morning, investors. So this is a new series for a $2,500 challenge. The goals of this challenge will be to make just a few trades a week, grow the account without being over leveraged, to learn more about the Thinkorswim platform, and one of the purposes will be to find reproducible steps for a trading situation. Remember, we want to think in investing algorithms. Be sure to keep track of that series as I release videos about different tactics to use. So, what I've done here is I've created a brand new Thinkorswim. Just opened it Friday. I've only made one trade on it, and that's the trade I'm going to go over with you guys today. We're going to do a weekly account overview every week. We're going to talk about the strategy that I used for that particular trade, and if I have found a related strategy, that may be the topic of the educational series, Investing Algorithms. See that playlist. So, I'm here in the Monitor tab, showing the trade that I made on Friday. This is SWBI, Smith & Wesson brands, and I have a short position. I shorted it at a trade price of $20.18. Friday, it did continue to rise a bit, up to $20.22. So I currently have a small loss of $2.74. Before we get into the charts, I want to bring up some information about how I found this, and we can even talk about the company itself. For those of you that are more interested in fundamentals and company background. So, FinViz is a great site, has a good scanner. You can tell if something is optionable. And I was in here, and I have some moving averages set up. And this was essentially a screen to find something that was at the top, but could possibly be going in a bearish direction. Now, the moving averages I have set up are essentially bullish because we have the simple moving average below the 200 moving average below the 50. We have the 20 above the 50 and the price above the 50, which typically would indicate a bullish scenario. And remember, the trend is your friend, so don't fight the trend. I'm only shorting this in the short term. I plan on taking the reverse trade next week. And when we get to the charts, we'll see why. So, just wanted to put that resource out there for you guys. So let's go ahead and talk about the company profile. If you guys don't know about Smith & Wesson, here's a Wikipedia page. They were founded, their They manufacture weapons. They were founded in 1856, and they are considered in the aerospace and defense industry. They have full-time employees, almost 2,000. You can see that their market cap is just over $1 billion. They have good volume, 1.5 million. So let's go ahead and get into the chart. So, the move I saw on this chart that interested me were these large up moves. Again, this is an uptrend. We have to be aware of that. But it seems as if the energy is starting to die out. It's come up, it's come up, it's come up, it's come up. Higher highs, higher lows, higher lows. It's pulled back. More higher lows. All good signs of a bullish trend. Also starting to level out. This chart is a bit busy right now because I have some areas of support and resistance drawn. I also have the Fibonacci drawn. So let's look a bit closer at some other indicators to see why I may have shorted this. As you can see here, on the MACD, it has crossed over in a bearish fashion. Now this is only the 15-minute chart. We will zoom out. This indicator is called squeeze momentum indicator. Very similar to the MACD, but it can give you some indication of when it's going to go back into a tight squeeze area or even drop down. And you can see here the momentum has been falling off for this bullish trend. And again, we have the ATR. It has dropped down, meaning it has stored a lot of energy. Not an indication of direction, but an indication that a change is coming soon. So let's talk a bit about the Fibonacci sequence I've drawn. I took the bottom of this low all the way to the high to draw the retracement. And you can see it is currently barely above what was a resistance level in the past. This could, in theory, start to act as support. But because these things like to move in these waves, here's an up. Typically, it would come back down. Even if it only comes back down to that level of support at around $20, I would make money. $20 is a good psychological level. It could easily stay above 20, building support and moving higher in this overall uptrend. So let's go ahead and zoom out to the daily. get a little bit closer so we can see. Here's the Fibonacci. Started here, drew it up to get the retracement of this large move up. Drew some resistance levels and support levels. You can see that there is some more support further down. So because it's made this large move up, it may pull back to those levels. Again, keep in mind that psychological level of that $20. It hasn't closed with the low above it yet. So if it pushes back down, it could start trading more in this channel here between $19.50 and $20. Zoom back out a bit. So as you can see, in the longer term, that $19 mark was the previous resistance. So trading between $19 and $20 is perfectly reasonable. Because you can see this is a longer term uptrend. Here's a low, here's a higher low, here's a higher low. It made this large move up. Look at this large move up. Made a large move up, traded sideways, came back down. So because it made this large move up and large move down, let's think about a bit of simple wave theory. I'm not great at wave theory, but I've watched some decent videos about it, so let's see if we can talk through it together and if it makes sense. So if we start here and go up, and go down. Some people would call this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It likes to move in those 5 sequences. So if you were bullish on this back here at the beginning of March, you could have had some good entry points here, here, and here, and now you would be selling. So what I've done is, because I hadn't seen this chart yet and was not able to get in on this bullish pattern, I see that it has reached at least a temporary top that it could pull back from. So I sold short. Good entry points can be these pullbacks. Here's one, right? Let's see if we can scroll back just a bit further. There's one. There's one. A lot of people would say this is the better entry point than this, because the second dip will help determine which way this is going to go, because we have this doji. Doji candles typically mean indecision. So we have a long-legged doji. See if we can zoom out. Move this. With a price rejection below it. So essentially a hammer. It moved up. Pulled back. Here's another doji. More indecision. Pulled back. That would have been the good entry point again. Good entry point, good exit. Good entry point, good exit. Here again. Good entry point, good exit. For the bulls. We entered essentially as a bear here. We're temporarily bearish because it's made an up move in this bullish trend. To continue the bullish trend, it will pull back, possibly go further up. So let's go back to the monitor tab. I shorted 100 shares. If this moves back down to that $19 level, because I have 100 shares, I'm going to go ahead and do the multiplication. And let's go ahead and do a theoretical $19, and let's even stay above that psychological level of the $20. Say $2,001. So I can make $21. Not a lot, but it is a high probability trade. And that is what your goal should be. High probability. Now we can be long-term bullish on this stock because of this trend and still take a short-term short position or a bearish position. I did not have any option buying power for this account yet because I just opened it. This money is essentially margin money because my has not cleared yet. My bank has not cleared this deposit to TD Ameritrade yet. Should happen next week. But they gave me buying power. I used that buying power for this short position. So, I want you guys to give me some suggestions on what strategies to use in this $2,500 challenge. It's not going to be focused on any specific strategy. We want to think what strategies work for the given situation. We want to think in investing algorithms. See that playlist. Please join me every week. Learn together. Hopefully make some money together. And good trading out there. May all your trades be profitable and your margin never be called. Have a good weekend.